Hey, do you like stories? How about exciting ones? You imagine are on top of a very high cliff and looking below at the sea in beautiful serene calm. That part is terrifying, but it makes you excited too. What if I told you that making this leap of faith could bring one hell of an adventure? Watch the video, No Risk, No Story below to find out how taking chances matters. We have amazing stories of people gambling big and pulling off incredible things. Want to take that wild ride with us? Let's jump in together. We begin with the story of a boy named Jack. The basketball was always fun for Jack. Then we either left or got kicked out of school and started to dream about going pro. But Jack was tiny and he had no muscle. They told him he could not do it. Rather than quitting, Jack worked every day. He failed but did not give up on trying. Jack enters a major tournament one day. It was with all of his heart, but guess what? He won. The risk Jack took paid off, and it is a reminder that challenges are temporary and success is always within reach. Next we have Sarah. Sarah aspired to become a vet. She had a great love of animals. Unfortunately, her family did not have enough money to send her to school. But Sarah powered through. It was not easy. She did a lot of jobs to make money. She volunteered at an animal shelter to work with animals. A big risk because money was something she wasn't sure she'd ever be able to save up enough of. But Sarah had faith in her dream. It was not until several years later that she would go on to become a veterinarian. Her tale of success proves that dreams do come true if we dare to dream and are willing to work towards them with sincerity. Now I want to dive into adventures. Pretend you are a pirate trying to find his buried treasure. You have a map, but the path is treacherous. It contains large waves, storms, and even sea monsters. But you will never find the treasure if you do not take that risk. This is what happened to Tom. Tom loved exploring. He had a desire to scale the highest peak in the world, Mount Everest. There was no shortage of friends to tell him how dangerous that was. But Tom believed in himself. The powerlifter trained for months leading up to the competition. The journey was tough, the days with snowstorms and freezing temperatures. But Tom didn't give up. Eventually he arrived at the summit and thought his world was at its peak. If you want to read a physical example of how risks can mean awesome victories, check out Tom's story. Remember that taking a risk can simply mean doing something different. While Emma adored music, she was very bashful about singing in public. Her pals, one afternoon, her friends talked her into entering a singing contest. Even though she was afraid, Emma knew it was a risk she had to take. After months of continuous practice, she made her debut on stage. And, minus her knowledge, she killed it with the singing. Emma discovered that it is good to take risks and to find traits that she never knew she had. Risk-taking isn't always about doing massive things. It could also mean standing up against what is wrong. Mark saw his friend being bullied at school, and he was the type of boy who couldn't just leave him there. He was afraid but knew he had to act. Mark thought he should confront the bully, and then he would assist his friend. The risk was all the more serious because the bully had a significant physical advantage. But Mark's bravery paid off. The bully crossed the street, and Mark's friend remained untouched. This is a story that exemplifies that taking risks can change the world for the better. Let's think about heroes now. Superhero, we all love, yes? They are the heroes of the story and they protect people. But superheroes also take risks, as they are confronted with deadly rogues and even fearsome occurrences. Why do they do it? They are us, the way we would be if we were not so cowardly and careful. The use of a hero in IP is the same thing in life. You can also be a hero. When you do something new or help someone who needs it, then you be as a superhero being brave. We learn from each and every experience we have, so while it might be scary to take new risks in our lives, the reality is that it adds to our experiences on this planet. Occasionally we will fall short or become wounded, but that's okay. With every failure we learn something and contribute to our growth. The example is like a baby learning to walk when we learn to going from 0 to 1 at some new trend. Before they learn how to walk, they tumble many times, but they are learning to balance from every fall. Similarly, every risk we take enables us to learn new things. Ever heard of Christopher Columbus? An explorer who tried to find a new sea route to Asia. He likely sounded insane to many people, since they all thought the world was flat. But Columbus took the chance and he sailed across the ocean. He was unable to fall into the dark abyss of the unknown, and instead found America. The story of Columbus serves as an excellent example that sometimes great discoveries come out only by taking risks. Ultimately, No Risk, No Story is a story of believing in yourself and courage. It is all about doing things you would have never done because of a lack of courage or motivation. It comes down to a dream and taking action on that dream. After all, every good story begins with a leap of faith. So take courage, men, and hammer out a bold story of your own. The next time you are afraid of something outside of your comfort zone, remember Jack, Sarah, Tom, Emma, and Mark. What about all of what we consider the great in this world, the heroes and the explorers, who took risks and did great things? Just remember, you too can be a hero in your own story. Jump off that plane and enjoy the ride. Have an adventurous story to tell. After all, no risk, no